From the road, our front porch looked finished.
But when you stood underneath it and looked up, it wasn't.
Finishing it would take all of us, and the heat nearly stopped the project before the first panel went up.
But by the time we were done, this porch finally felt complete.
When you stand from the road and look at our porch, it looks like it's finished, but we have exposed rafters. You can see our metal that's on our roof. You can see the wiring that's exposed. We knew we needed to finish this ceiling, but this is something that we knew that was going to be probably pushed back into the end. We decided to go with metal instead of shiplap like we got in the house because first off, it's a whole lot cheaper. And I would say a big priority of that is the fact that the metal on the side of the house and on the roof is a whole lot easier to maintain.
I wasn't worried about the black being too dark. I was thinking about how it would accent the black exterior and also bring out the burnt Sierra wood and make the porch feel much fuller and more complete.
So let's get this ceiling up.
We were supposed to do this ceiling before we actually completed the awnings, but because the awnings were more important because water was getting into the house, we had to finish that first. But this should be our last thing that we do for our front of the porch or front of the house series.
The reason why we chose to use fans on the front porch, because on days like this when it's extremely hot, the fans will make it feel more comfortable, and it'll also give us that down home country feel that we're looking for.
So while this is open, we have access to it. We should be able to run our electric and then do our blocking and for our fans, and then we'll be able to put our metal on top.
The porch is 56 feet long and just under 10 feet deep. Before covering anything, we documented the exposed rafters, wiring, and all the areas that would soon disappear behind the ceiling. The panels were new roofing metal with a factory black finish, and we planned to run them parallel with the house along the full length of the porch.
Even though we had recently built the porch roof, I went back over every measurement before cutting anything. The finished depth measured 9 feet 11 inches. The rafters were spaced 24 inches on center, and the ceiling followed the pitch of the porch roof. The frame checked square, but the lower side differed by approximately 2 inches from one side to the other side. That reminded us to work from the actual ceiling instead of assuming every measurement would be exactly the same. Once the measurements were confirmed, we marked the fan locations and the framing that would support the boxes and metal. Before the ceiling could go up, everything behind it had to be ready. I cut and installed blocking for all 3 fan-rated boxes and ran wiring through the framing and secured it so it would remain protected behind the metal.
While the ceiling was still open, we also added a true 2x10 oak block on the left side for a future porch swing. We don't have the swing yet, but the support will already be there when we're ready.
We expected the large metal panels to be the hardest part, but the J-trim ended up taking the longest. The straight sections moved fairly quickly. The challenge was fitting the trim around every wrap post. Each post needed several small pieces measured, notched, folded, and fitted together so the corners would meet neatly. By the time I reached the final post, I had already spent hours working overhead.
We started early because temperatures were expected to reach around 100 degrees. But even the porch was shaded, the humidity was heavy, and AC was working high on the ladder close to the metal roof. The heat caught up with him. He came down, sat for a moment, and tried to cool off, but we knew the project had to stop. The ceiling could wait, his health couldn't. AC took the next day off to recover. Friday morning, he felt well enough to ease back into the project. He completed the final 3 sections of J-trim, inspected the perimeter, and prepared everything for the first ceiling panel.
This first panel matters a lot because if you put it up straight, the rest of them should follow and they'll end up being straight. But like anything, if you put it up crooked, little by little, it'll work its way off and then we'll be further away from our house.
It took 3 people to lift and support the first panel while AC guided it into the J-trim and secured it. I helped hold that first sheet, and once it was in place, we checked the edge, overlap, and alignment before moving forward. Saturday brought the weather we needed. It was cool, breezy, and overcast, with no strong sun beating down on the porch. With our oldest son working beside AC and the rest of us helping whenever we needed, the ceiling began moving much faster.
We carried each panel to the porch, lifted it overhead, slid it into the J-trim, and overlapped it with the previous sheet and added enough screws to hold it safely in place. We plan to come back afterward and add the remaining screws along the marked rafter lines.
Our youngest son helped with tools, measurements, ladders, and panel support. Our oldest son helped carry, align, and secure the metal. The rest of us stepped in wherever we were needed. When we reached a fan location, the measurements had to be transferred from the electrical box above to the metal sheet below. We marked and cut conservatively, so the opening could be enlarged gradually instead of starting too large. These long panels were definitely not a one-person job. They had to remain supported and flat while AC aligned and secured them.
For the round fan openings, we used the electrical boxes to establish the size and position before cutting through the metal. One opening needed a little more adjustment after the panel was installed, but once it was finished, the box was accessible and the fan canopy covered the opening cleanly.
Once the ceiling was covered, we assembled the 3 matching 52-inch ceiling fans. AC and I worked on the fan assembly, and our oldest son helped with the final installation.
The fans have black housings, solid wood blades, 6 speeds, reversible motors, and dimmable lights with 3 color temperature settings. All 3 fan openings lined up. The canopies covered them correctly, and none of the fans wobbled during testing. Once the fans were mounted, I went back over the ceiling to check the panels, trim, and clearances. The final corner panel was measured incorrectly, and the first cut was much too large to hide. We stopped for the night measured it again the next morning, and replaced the entire sheet.
Once the panels were in place, they still needed the remaining screws. Our youngest son and our oldest daughter marked the rafter lines across the ceiling. Our youngest daughter filmed them, and our oldest son came back through to secure every panel. Seeing all 3 lights and fans come on was the most memorable moment of the entire project.
All 3 remotes worked. The lights were bright, the fans moved plenty of air, and none of them wobbled.
That was the moment the entire project finally came together. From below, the difference was immediate. The exposed rafters were gone. The wiring was hidden, and the black ceiling made the porch feel more shaded, finished, and connected to the rest of the house. We loved the black as soon as we saw it going up. It did make the porch feel darker, but in the best way. It feels more shaded and comfortable, and the black brings out the warmth of the burnt Sierra wood.
The entire project stayed around $600, including the ceiling metal, trim, hardware, and 3 fans. Compared with the shiplap we originally considered, using the black metal saved us approximately $800. I definitely used metal again. Once the trim was finished, the panels moved quickly, and the finished ceiling should require very little maintenance.
And I would choose black again. It gave us exactly the look I had pictured.
The biggest lesson had nothing to do with the ceiling. On days with excessive heat, we need to start early, stop early, and never try to push through the warning signs.
Now that the ceiling and fans are finished, this porch finally feels like the outdoor room we wanted it to be.
Which made the biggest difference to you? The black ceiling, the wood blade fans, or the lights at night? Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.